be making cassoulet today because I need to soak the beans. I'm actually starting on this before I have my breakfast. I actually had a little bit of a snack. So I need 8 ounces each of black beans and Great Northern beans, and I got to prepare them for their soak. I'm making a kind of like a vegetarian version of the French dish called cassoulet. So let's get 8 ounces each. I've made this before, and it is delicious. Okay. That's the black beans. And then 8 ounces of Great Northern or white beans. This is what was available, so I'm going to use this. Okay. All right. Oh, what's that? I don't want that little... Throw that out. Okay. Now let's go ahead and rinse the beans. I bought a pestle and mortar for this dish. That turned out to be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, one that I bought from Kroger was stuck, the pestle was stuck to the mortar with super glue and I couldn't get it out, so I'm going to have to return that one. And I ended up getting another one at the at-home store. Yeah. That one I had to season, and I used some white rice to season the mortar. And so it's ready for, I did that yesterday. So let's just go ahead and rinse the beans here. So I'll show you my new pestle and mortar. I'm trying to get back to the cooking equipment that I had in the early 1990s. I've always been an international gourmet cook. And the early 1990s, I was a full-time homemaker. I was staying home with my son, and that was when Brent Spiner first came into my life. I was married at that time. I am now divorced to that person. Okay, let's go ahead. That's pretty good here. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to. We're going to give it a boil and then let it soak for a while because I want to start on it now so I can have it later today. Let me go ahead and add in the water. That's 6 cups of water. So this is my Revierware Dutch oven. It's actually a stock pot, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's go ahead and put the beans in here. We're going to bring it to a boil. When it gets to the boil, then I'll lower the heat. This is to soften the beans and get them ready for later today. I have made this before and I love it. It's a French cassoulet. So when it starts boiling, this is a Revierware stock pot that I actually bought, I think about 1994. Yeah, when I lived in Seattle, Washington. I think I bought it at Fred Meyer. And I love it. I hear that Revierware has been discontinued. I think it's such a shame. It's really quality cookware. I love the stainless steel top like this. Yeah. It's a shame that they've discontinued it. I love my Revierware. I've used this thing over and over and over. I've had it since 1994, I believe. Okay, we're bringing it to a boil. When it gets to a full boil, I'm going to reduce heat and simmer uncovered for 2 minutes. I got this from the American Heart Association International Cookbook, which is out of print, but I bought it in around 1996, I think. anyways, I love it. One of my supporters got me a version, I think, from eBay, and I love having that cookbook back because I lost it when I moved from Seattle to Florida. I was not able to bring it with me, and yeah, okay, let's see. It's on high heat right now, and I'm waiting for it to come to like a full boil, and then I'm going to lower heat and let it simmer for 2 minutes, uncovered. Let's get it a little bit boiling, a little bit more here. Okay, that's pretty good there. Let's go ahead and lower the heat now to low. Okay, and we're going to have it here for 2 minutes, uncovered. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. Let me turn the heat off. I'm going to cover it and move it off this onto a burner where it will not be, yep. And we're just going to let it sit there for, and I will post this recipe under, actually the recipe is part of my American Heart Association cookbook PDF, which you can get. I have my favorite recipes from there, and you can get that at my website. So we're going to let it stand for 1 hour. I'll go ahead and set the alarm to remind me. It's right there, covered. Isn't that a beautiful Revireware pan? They just don't make pans like they used to. Yeah, I think I bought it in 1994. It'll work perfect for this recipe. In fact, I think I made this recipe in that exact pan in the 1990s. I remember. Okay, now I got to prepare my ingredients. I need 1½ cups chopped carrots, 1½ cups chopped celery. Yep, okay. So I kind of guesstimated here. Let me go ahead and take the skin. These are old carrots and I need to use them. Let me go ahead and take the skin off of these carrots with my peeler, and then I'm going to start chopping. I may have brought more vegetables out than I need, so I have my measuring cup over here. So let me just start chopping and see how many carrots I get. So I just peeled the skin, the outward skin. So I want to have, okay, 1½ cups, and I'll put it over there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I needed to come up with a recipe that used up these are free carrots that I got in a produce bag in January, and I need to, yes, you might say January, yes, January. And I need to use them up. I actually enjoy produce. So, okay. Chopped carrots, there we go. Whoops. You know what? I think I got the right amount of carrots here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and chop the carrots up till I get 1½ cups. You see what I'm doing here? That huge carrot got me almost a full cup. I don't think I'm going to be using all of these carrots. So for another ½ cup, I'm just going to try to use the ones that look like they're going bad. Let's try these two. Let's see how that goes. Okay, 3 of those carrots, including one big huge one, has given me 1 cup. So let's put that over here. I need another ½ cup worth of carrots, so let me try this one. Haha. So let's add this to the batch and see if that gives me 1½ cups. What a good guesser I am. I actually need to use all the carrots, so let's go ahead and use that one up, and then it'll give me 1½ cups. And it goes without saying that I washed the celery and the carrots before I, brought them over here. That's just cooking common sense, but I thought I better mention that in case somebody's a newbie at cooking. I guesstimated perfectly. I needed to use all those carrots to get to 1½ cups. Now I need to do the same thing with the celery. So let's go ahead and work on that now. Okay, I'm working on chopping the celery. And I'll let you see me at work here. I need to get 1½ cups of chopped celery. see here. See if I can. Try something like this. Okay, I'm going to kind of like do just like what you saw right there until I get 1.5 cups. I got I think four stalks here. Let's see how that goes. Let's see if I have to use up all this. 2.5 of those celeries gave me, this was like celery stalks that I bought in the store, you know, not, that without the leaves. So there's a cup. You know what? I think I've guesstimated right on the celery too. Let's see if I get a 1/2 cup out of what I have left here. Just one stalk and a little bit of that. Let's work on that now. Now that's amazing. I guessed perfectly. What I had in there was exactly what I needed to get 1.5 cups of chopped celery and 1.5 cups of chopped carrots. You can tell I'm an experienced cook, can't you? Haha. Okay, let's work now on the green peppers. You know, I better work on it. I need to drain these beans. I was supposed to have done that before they've been sitting here for a couple hours, but I just wanted to make sure they were fully cooked. Well, they're going to cook some more, so I better do that now. Yeah, let's go ahead and drain them in the colander and set them aside as the recipe says. They're not cooked yet, but they're going to be cooked. I don't want them to be mushy, so if I recall, I didn't have a problem with that when I made them before. Okay. Let's go ahead and get it drained. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can put them back in that pan. Hold on. Okay, I usually like to use a metal container because I notice these black beans stain my white plastic containers. So yeah, we're just going to let them. I did it over here, kind of out of the range of the camera, but as you can see, they're in there, and I'm just going to leave them there. I just wanted to get them out of the water so that they don't overcook. The last time I made this, the beans were not overcooked, so I think letting them sit in the water for 2 hours didn't hurt. So let's just go ahead and let them just sit here, and then I'm going to work on the green pepper next. Okay, the recipe says 1 large green pepper chopped. What I did is I rinsed it, took the seeds out. I usually cut it in half, take the seeds out by the sink, throw the middle part into the garbage. And now we're going to work on chopping up the green pepper. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on chopping the green pepper. Then I'm going to throw it in one of those tins over there. I'll let you see me a little bit at work here. Okay, so let's go ahead and so we're going to go ahead and chop this up. Get it ready for a delicious French dish. Like I said, I've made this before and it's very good. It calls for a large green pepper. This is pretty large, so this will work. The next step says 4 cloves, the next ingredient I have to prepare is 4 cloves garlic, crushed or minced. I think I'm going to do a mixture. Let me go ahead and take the skin off. I just took it out of my brown paper bag. I store my onions and garlic in a paper bag, and then I roll the bag over the top in a dark place. That way they last longer. And no, I never buy the ready jar-made kind because I like my garlic and onion to taste fresh. Yeah, I'm picky. Picky about my food. Yeah, I like my garlic, and then so I crush it. I don't buy like jar-made garlic and stuff. I take it right off the cluster and take the skin off, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to do a combo. I'm going to do some crushed, some minced. That way we're going to get maximum garlic flavor in here. Yeah, let me go ahead and take the skin off, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the garlic. Okay, I took the skins off, and then I used my nails to take off any little brown spots in the garlic. I'll kind of like dig into the garlic with my nail and take it out. Okay, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to mince this one. These would be good for crushing, and I'll mince this one. Oops, I didn't get all the skin here. Let's get all that. That wouldn't be very tasty to have skin in there. Let's go ahead and go like this. Yeah. I want to have a nice garlic flavor in here. So, let's kind of like go like this. I used to use a cleaver to crush garlic. Let me see, go this way. I don't have one of them things. I've been using this knife. It makes a good crusher. Okay, let me show you what I do. Okay, this is going to have to go in a separate container because these ingredients get added in later. So, I kind of like go like this. So let's try doing this end. I'm going to need to stand up. There we go. It's kind of crushing. If it does, I probably didn't cut it. I might go to mincing. I missed my cleaver. There we go. See how I'm doing that? There we go. That's crushed. Just kind of. Maybe I should have made the pieces a little thicker so they would crush better. Let's try this thick end down. Well, you know what? I might mince. Let's try doing it this way. Yeah, I think I'm going to do more mincing. A couple pieces in there. I know what I'm going to do. We're going to mince that one. And I'm going to cut these pieces a little thicker. Yeah. And then crush them. And that'll probably work better. Ha ha! Got to use strategy here. Let's try this. Yeah, that's good. See? There. There, that's good. See, that's nice and smashed there. That's going to get the garlic flavor going throughout the this one here is not doing like I want. There we go. All right, that's good. All right, these are pretty smashed. The rest I'm going to mince. So I'll mince them and then throw them over there. Then I got a big onion that I need to work on. Okay, let's see if we can get a close-up here. Let's go ahead and work on mincing. I just kind of go like this. Just go in all different directions with the knife. And eventually it gets pretty small, and then I'm going to throw it in this container. We are done. See that? Now let's go ahead and throw that in here with the rest of the garlic. And then I'm going to work on the onion next. I also have some fennel I need to crush. So, yeah, this soup is a lot of work, but boy is it good. But, I mean, preparing the ingredients is a lot of work. Yeah, but it's really good. I've made it before. Let's get all this garlic off my fingers. Okay, let's work on getting the onion. 1 large onion chopped. I open the windows. I always, if I'm using a cutting board and an onion has to be cut up or chopped, that's always the last thing I do. Let's see if I can take this out. This doesn't look very good. This onion has a kind of a weird spot here. Take that out. Out. What's this? I think I'm going to cut this out too. This is a large enough onion so I can sacrifice some of it. Taking out any bad spots. My eyes are already starting to water. Let's see. Okay. Go ahead and start chopping this, and then I'm going to put it in there and put a cover on it pronto. Alright. Probably a more intelligent way to do this, but this is the way. Oh my god. I like to work fast because I don't like the onions burning my eyes out. It would help to have if my knife was a little bit sharper, but I'm in love with this knife, so it's okay. Yeah. I've had this knife for over 10 years. I do have a knife sharpener. Don't want to cut my fingers here. Some of those, and then I got the other half. As you can see, I have the other half cut side down. Using strategy to spare my eyes. Okay, let's go ahead and just get it all chopped up, and I'll get some of the pieces I missed here, you know. Oh man. Alright. And then we'll stick it over there and put a cover on it. So I'm going to be doing that to the whole onion. Okay, I'm preparing what's going to be thrown in later. This is the chicken broth. It said 10.5 ounce can low sodium chicken broth. I'm just going to use this. This was chicken broth. It's not low sodium, but it's okay. This is from the American Heart Association cookbook, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and make my own version of 10.5 ounce chicken broth. Let me just kind of mix that up here. And the rest of the ingredients are molasses, thyme, bay leaf, tomato sauce. So let's go ahead and work on getting all the measuring spoons I need ready. I'm going to lay all the ingredients to the side, see like that, so I'll know what I've already put in. Let's go ahead and put in the tomato sauce. 2 8-ounce cans of low sodium tomato sauce. So let me open them up and put them in here. Okay, I added the tomato sauce. Let's work on getting the measuring spoons for the rest of the ingredients. The recipe says 1/2 cup dry white wine. I didn't want to go out and buy wine. I don't drink wine, you know. I'm just going to go ahead and use this. I use it just for cooking. It's white Zinfandel. It's not exactly dry, but it'll work. 1/2 cup. There we go. Alrighty. Wine really adds a nice flavor to a lot of dishes. Okay. 1/4 cup molasses. Yeah, I had to wait till today to do this because when I went shopping the other day, they didn't have molasses. Molasses has a unique flavor, and you cannot substitute honey for this. It just won't work. Let me put a little bit more in there. That'll work. I'm just going to kind of go like this because molasses are sticky, and get it all out of here. Yeah, molasses has a unique flavor. It really cannot be substituted well. So I decided to wait to make this until I got my molasses. And I got it at Target today. When I went to Kroger the other day, Kroger was out of molasses, so. Yeah, I also bought a mortar and pestle just for this recipe. Oh, that molasses, that really likes to stick. Well, I put in a little bit more molasses than I needed to, so if I don't get it all out of here, it's not the end of the world. Just keep going like this. Yes, this is the French cassoulet vegetarian style. Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's good enough. Let me put the cover on the molasses, and I'm going to bring this over to the sink. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Hold my hands down here so it doesn't spill. You know what? Okay. Oh, shoot. I'm still filming, aren't I? Let's turn it off. The recipe calls for 2 bay leaves, so let's put in some of the spices. Take this off. 1. These are little bay leaves, so I'm going to throw in a little bit more. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Alrighty. And it also says that I need to put in, let's put the molasses over. I need to clean this table. And I got the wine over here. Let's go ahead and put in, okay, it calls for 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon crushed red pepper flakes. I'm going to be using cayenne red pepper, which is actually hotter than red pepper flakes. So we're going to go easy on that, and I'm probably going to do maybe a little bit less than 1/2 teaspoon, because this is hotter than red pepper. So let's go right about there. Yeah, that's good. That gives it a little bit of spunk there. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon salt. Okay, let's just go ahead and put in using the big salt here. Yeah, that's about 1/2 teaspoon right there. It's because for a soup, anything soupy, this will work because it's going to dissolve. And then thyme, 1/2 teaspoon thyme. I just got this today. Oh, what fell out? Something fell out here. I think we're good. I don't think it's anything that's going to cause any problems. All right. Yeah. I forgot that I have to open this. Don't let me spill it. Yeah, that was thyme that fell out. Boy, this is packed. That's like... Okay, that's good. Yeah, this is packed, man. Makes it kind of hard to scoop it out. Okay. Throw in a little bit more there. Let's cover this up. Okay, for this ingredient, I have to crush it using the mortar and pestle. I already prepared this. The other day I seasoned it with rice, And it says I have to do 1.5 teaspoons dried fennel seeds crushed. So, oh, yeah, that's right, these are brand new. Yeah. Okay. Bring my garbage can over here. Yep. Okay. 1.5 teaspoons dried fennel seeds crushed. Okay. There's one. That's about 1.5. I want a couple more. Okay, let's put the cover on that. Yeah, I season this thing. So we're going to go ahead and crush this. Oh yeah, it's getting nice and... And then what I'm going to do right away after I do this, I'm going to clean this with water. You do not clean this type of mortar and pestle with soap, because then the soap flavor gets into the volcanic rock and it ruins it. So I'm going to be cleaning it. I bought this brush just for this. So as soon as I put this fennel in here, after I crush it, I'm going to clean this immediately. Yeah, this mortar and pestle does a really good job. Yeah, I bought a mortar and pestle from Kroger, and it was stuck, this part, the pestle was stuck in there with super glue, so I'm going to have to return this. That one, I mean. This one's working great. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's really breaking the seeds up very nicely. I hear a lot of Mexicans, when they make stuff like guacamole, they use these things. Okay, it looks like it did a very nice job crushing it. We're going to go ahead and throw that in there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and clean this right now. Okay, I just washed it with water, including this, and I used the scrub brush to clean it. And then I dried it with a paper towel, got most of the water off, and now I'm storing it over here. I'm actually going to buy a little paper doily for it, but right now it's clean. Yeah, that's what you need to do with these things. You need to clean them right away after you use them. And I just store it right there. All I did was wash it with water using the scrub brush, and then I used paper towels, dried it, and I'm going to let it dry right there. I brought all the ingredients over to the kitchen, and now we're going to get ready to cook. I also washed the pan that I used to make the beans. Okay, the recipe says dry Dutch oven and spray. Yeah, apparently I did need to wash it. And spray with vegetable oil spray. Alright, I'll dry it. I don't have vegetable oil spray. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in here, because I think that's going to give it a nice flavor. Let's see, just a little bit. I know why they're saying vegetable oil spray, because this is from the American Heart Association cookbook. You get it? Here's what I'm going to do. Throw in a little bit of this. Okay? And here's my vegetable oil spray. Watch this. You don't have to follow these recipes. Use a paper towel. Just spread it around like this. There we go. There's my vegetable oil spray. Okay, now add carrots, celery, bell pepper. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the heat on. Cook over medium heat. The onions and the garlic. You say, you don't have much oil in there. That's okay. I'm on a bit of a diet. I've got plenty of molasses in here, so yeah, I don't have to worry about, right? Okay, the onions and the garlic. There we go. I have limited space here in my kitchen, and I don't want to have to get vegetable oil spray and other spray, just when I could just use oil and use my brain a little bit and get the same result, right? Alright, so medium heat. Let's see here. This will work. Okay. So you put the carrots, the celery, the bell pepper, the onions, and garlic. Cook over medium heat for 20 minutes or until tender, stirring occasionally. Okay, so let's get started here. Let's put the stirring occasionally. Actually, I probably could have used a little bit more oil. You know what? I'm not sure I have enough oil in here. But you know what? I'll tell you what you can do when that happens. Just throw in a little bit of water. That way you don't that way you don't burn your vegetables. Throw in a little bit of water. The trick I've learned. Yeah. Throw in some water. I mean, it's going to be cooking and yeah, so that way you know that it's going to cook. Alright. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this for 20 minutes until the vegetables, until all this in here is tender. I'm still working on this. I threw in a little bit more water. The recipe doesn't say to do this, but my cooking common sense tells me to cover it. It's going to help it to the vegetables to get tender because there's quite a lot in there. So after 20, I'm going to like lift the cover every now and then and stir it, and after 20 minutes it should be ready for the next step. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes to go. Let's check it out. Yep, actually, yep. Yeah, putting the cover on was a good decision. It's actually, I think we're ready for the next step. By putting the cover on there, everything's pretty much tender. So we're just going to go ahead and go on to the next step. Let's go ahead and lower the heat. This here. In the meanwhile, I washed the dishes, and I wash dishes as I cook. That way, yeah. Well, okay. So stir in the beans and remaining ingredients. This reminds me of the movie Gigi, the 1958 Lerner and Loewe musical, where they made a pot of cassoulet and Gaston was sniffing over it saying he was this rich playboy. He would rather eat the humble cassoulet at Gigi's apartment than all the rich food throughout Paris. I think about that movie when I make this. Okay, let's go ahead and throw this in here. Though I'm sure their version had a little bit of meat in it. This is the American Heart Association cookbook version. But believe it or not, their food is pretty good. I guess they knew that people don't like eating healthy, so they tried to make the healthy food very delicious. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can swirl this around a little bit. And now it's got to simmer for 2.5 to 3 hours. Yeah. everything swirled around because I've got some salt in here and I want it to swirl around too. This needs to melt. And we will be removing the bay leaves when it's all done. But, yep. So let's just go ahead and kind of squish everything around here. Alright, that's pretty good. Okay. Bring to a boil, actually I'm going to bring it to a boil first. Bring to a boil over high heat. The heat was a little high, so I wanted to lower it before I put it in there. Bring to a boil over high heat. Then reduce the heat and simmer covered for 2.5 to 3 hours or until beans are tender. Okay, yeah, bringing to a boil is probably, you want to establish an initial high temperature. That probably helps the beans to cook. So let's bring it to a boil. Once I bring it to a boil, then I will lower the. So when I'll turn the camera back on when that happens. Before I forget, I did want to say that this is something you want to start on in the morning. Yeah, because of all the steps involved. Yeah, if you want to eat it the same, yeah, you need to start it in the morning or early afternoon at the latest. Yeah, which is pretty much what I did. Yeah. You definitely want to start it early in the day because a lot of the steps take time. Okay, as you can see, it is starting to boil now. Let me just kind of swish it around a little bit more. I can tell the secret to this recipe is all of the ingredients need to blend. That's why I'm doing this. And now we're going to reduce heat and simmer covered for 2.5 to 3 hours. So let's put it down, yeah, down pretty low because once you cover it, it cooks really well. Okay, I'll be back in about 2.5 to 3 hours. I forgot to mention that you can add water if necessary. You know, check on it every now and then. Make sure you've got enough water in there so that the beans will get tender, okay? And you can add water if you need to while it's simmering. This is finished. It's going to taste even better left over. Let me go try it though. It's been cooking about 2.5 hours. This is Meatless Cassoulet. I already sampled a little bit of it just to see if the beans are done, and it was good. Let's try it. A little bit hot. Yep. It'll be even better tomorrow. I might put in a little bit less cayenne pepper next time, because I don't like my food too spicy, but it's not bad though. When I made this in the 1990s, I did not use the red pepper. I remember I omitted that. I think I'm going, when I put the recipe up at my website, I'm going to modify it and cut back on the pepper. However, it probably could use another half an hour of cooking. I think I'm going to let it cook a little bit more. But it's not bad. I definitely will post it at my YouTube channel.